You said these practices are kind of a lot of with the young guys, and look like that's kind of what it was, I guess.
Yeah, we dedicate these first three especially to our young guys. Not that our vets don't get reps, but the majority of them go to our young players, and we let them really play football. It's not we do the individual work and the fundamentals, but I want to see them play and see how far they've come in a year's time.
I know it's just one practice, but anything stand out or anybody?
Well, I thought Eric Wilson obviously had a nice touchdown run there at the end. Just thinking about practice. Seiler had a nice drive. Derek had a nice drive with the young guys. But some of the interior stuff is tough to tell until you look at the film. But I thought all in all it was pretty spirited for giving them a week off and then they come back. Sometimes these practices can be hard to get going, but they came ready to go today.
For you, what's tomorrow like with the bowl announcement and everything? Are you nervous about it? Are you curious about it?
It's exciting. We're going to go somewhere. We want to go to the best bowl possible, obviously. So it's exciting to find out your fate and where you're headed, and then start preparing for the trip from a schedule standpoint, and then also from a game plan standpoint, that your opponent and who you have to prepare for.
What's kind of the first thing you do? Do you look for tape on the other
First thing I do is I got to
team?
get the schedule right. Depending on when we play, and we've got a couple different mock-ups set up so that we can get it to the players, to their families, to administration, everybody, accordingly, with the amount of time to get a lot done. We're a lot of people moving to one place for about a week's time, so a lot to get done that way. And then getting the tape, starting to break that tape down, and then starting to game plan on it. In the meantime, finishing up school really well for the guys, for our players, and they're closing in on finals right now and finishing the quarter really strong. And then obviously still practicing with a mindset of developing our young players next weekend, and then really getting into the game plan for about the final 9 practices.
Will you go on site 6 or 7 days ahead of time, no matter where it is?
Roughly. It depends, roughly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any sense at this point where you're going to go?
I really don't. I think everyone has a general idea of what the potentials are. But until they tell us officially, it's like anything, it's like it's rumors, I guess, and I tend not to respond to rumors.
The dates of the ones that you guys are involved in are pretty different.
Yeah.
Does that matter much to you?
Well, it does. Again, from the scheduling standpoint, from a school standpoint for our guys, to make sure that we're allowing them during the week to really focus on their academics and get that done, as well as a conditioning standpoint. When and how much time we space out practice, what's their break to go home and to see their families, depending on the time, whether it's over Christmas, whether it's after Christmas and New Year. So things of that nature all matter, and it is. The dates are definitely very different, so we just have to see what happens.
This is kind of, in a way, college football's silly season where head coaches and assistant coaches will be randomly stuck to almost anything that comes open. Does that bug you? Do you just ignore it? Do you joke about it, talk about it?
I think you can't ignore it. It's so much in your face. But the reality of it is, it's really rumors, until something is solidified. And sometimes it feels a bit like the like a high school girls' bathroom or something, But until there's something substantial, it's hard to comment, whether it's regarding me or somebody else. I don't know how you comment about it. The best people to comment about it are the ones of those that are making those decisions. You don't ignore it. I follow it relatively. You want to know who your opponents might be and who head coaches might be in your conference and whatnot, who might be leaving. But until it's solidified, you really don't know.
And what do you think you've learned from your past couple bowl experiences here that you did right and that you may not have done as well as you would have liked?
I think we've done a lot of really cool stuff. I like the format that we have in the earlier practices, focusing on our young guys and giving them an opportunity to compete, and watching the vets kind of coach them and root for them and cheer them on. I thought that we've gone into the games really well prepared. When there's opportunities to have our fun, we have our fun. When it's time to be business and go to work, we go to work, and I think that format's been good to us. We won the first game. I'd like to think we should have won the second game, and hopefully we can win the third game.
Is it nice in a way to know that you'll be in a different city just in terms of the entertainment ahead of time and stuff?
Sometimes that's good. I think that our guys have been fortunate. They've gone to 2 good bowls so far. Since we've been here in the Holiday Bowl in San Diego, the Alamo Bowl in San Diego, and wherever we go, they're all great bowls that the Pac-12 wouldn't be aligned with them if they weren't. And we'll enjoy the experience when we get there.
And just in terms of the timing, do you have a preference as to whether you go before Christmas or the late one, or I mean, be home for the holidays or not?
As much time as I can give our guys an opportunity to go home would be great. These guys work so hard all year round. That when I can get them a chance to get with their moms and dads and brothers and sisters and everybody back home, I'd like to allow them to do that. But again, we want to play in the best game possible. That's the most important thing.
This is the first time back on the field after the Apple Cup. I mean, is there much of a lingering hangover from that at all, or was
I didn't feel a hangover. We had a nice talk about it this morning as a team. The entire team watched the game last night, obviously, and saw Stanford win the Pac-12 championship. And we talked about we were the one team in the conference that beat them. And the only other team in the country that beat Stanford is Notre Dame, who's playing for a national championship, and that came down to an inch and possibly a bad call. So I think we are aware of what we're capable of, but we also understand in Stanford that that's a very consistent football team. Week in and week out, they come to play, and that's something for us to strive for, because obviously from a capability standpoint, when you beat the conference champ and you're the only team to say that you can, that's a standard that we can play to, and now consistently we need to be able to play to that level.